Weakness is not virtue, make no mistake. Meekness is not the absence of power, it is power restrained. And if you think the world is kind to the harmless, you are wrong. It devours them. You were not made to be harmless. You were made to be formidable and disciplined and precise. You were made to be dangerous and good. Competence is not optional. It is the bedrock of your value to the world. The more skilled, the more reliable, the more focused you become, the more the world will respond to you. Not out of pity, not out of luck, but because you've earned it. People want to pretend that talent or passion is enough. It isn't. The world rewards those who have taken responsibility for their own improvement. Learn what matters, get good at it, and never stop sharpening your tools. We've been fed a lie that being nice is the goal, but nice is weak when it lacks backbone. Harmlessness is not moral superiority. It's vulnerability disguised as virtue. True virtue is the ability to inflict harm but choosing not to. To be dangerous means you could dominate, but you decide to serve. That's strength under control. That's moral maturity. Danger without discipline is chaos, but danger channeled by discipline becomes mastery. The disciplined individual wakes up early, trains the body, trains the mind, and confronts the uncomfortable truths. Your mind is a wild territory. You must rule it before you rule anything else. And once you can command yourself, your fears, your laziness, your impulses, then, and only then, will you become someone the world cannot ignore. We are surrounded by people craving leadership, purpose, and clarity. You cannot offer any of these unless you've faced your own darkness, face your weaknesses, drag them into the light, and rebuild yourself brick by brick. The world is not safe, but you can be someone who brings order to the chaos, not by being soft, but by being strong, dangerous, and deeply principled. So, what are you waiting for? Become competent, become dangerous, and then use that power not for destruction, but for order, for truth, for good. The world doesn't need more harmless men. It needs warriors with discipline, vision, and heart. Competence is not a luxury. It's not a side option you develop when you have time left over from your distractions or your comforts. Competence is the foundation of everything that matters in your life. Your work, your relationships, your confidence, your identity. And without it, you will be tossed around by life like a leaf in a storm. People often think they can fake their way through, charm their way forward, or simply manifest success into existence. But the brutal truth is this: the world does not reward intention, it rewards ability. It rewards those who have put in the effort to master something valuable. Being competent means being able to handle what life throws at you. It means that when chaos arrives, and it always does, you have the tools to respond, not collapse. It means people can rely on you, and more importantly, that you can rely on yourself. And if you've ever faced a moment when you didn't know what to do, when your skills fell short, when your preparation was insufficient, you know the cost of incompetence. It's shame, it's fear, it's helplessness, and it burns, but it doesn't have to stay that way. That pain is the signal. It's telling you, get better, get sharper, take responsibility for what you lack and fix it. The problem is that many people confuse comfort with progress. They think if they're not struggling, they must be succeeding. But growth is not comfortable. Mastery is not painless. Competence demands discipline, repetition, humility. It's forged in failure over and over again until the skill becomes part of your being. And that's the truth. Competence is not something you have. It's something you become. You become it by showing up when it's hard. By studying when you'd rather scroll, by refining your craft when no one is watching. You become competent the same way you become strong, through deliberate suffering, focused action, and a refusal to be mediocre. And when you become competent, the world starts to open up. People notice, opportunities appear, your words carry weight, not because you demand respect, but because you've earned it. You stop begging life for favors, and instead you start offering value. That's real power. That's the beginning of transformation. And it starts the moment you stop making excuses and start developing excellence. There's a dangerous misconception being pushed into our culture, the idea that being harmless is the same as being good. That if you avoid conflict, never raise your voice, keep your head down, and smile politely, you're somehow virtuous. But let me tell you something plainly: harmlessness is not virtue, it's weakness. And weakness is not rewarded by the world, it is exploited. If you think the predators of life, whether in business, relationships, or politics, will spare you because you're passive, you're delusional, they will walk right over you, smile while they do it, and never think twice. You don't get points for being unable to stand your ground. You just get trampled. People misunderstand the concept of meekness. They think it means soft, submissive, weak, but that's not what it originally meant. Meekness is strength, restrained. It's the man who knows he could strike, but chooses not to, the person who could dominate, but leads instead. That is not harmlessness, that is self-control in the presence of real power, and power, let's not shy away from that word, is essential. If you are not capable of defending yourself, of asserting your values, of protecting what matters to you, then you are not good. You are simply incapable of being bad. That's not morality, that's impotence. What's even more dangerous is that people often wear their harmlessness like a badge of honor. They think their lack of aggression is proof of their goodness. But it's often just fear dressed up as morality. They fear confrontation. They fear responsibility. They fear power because deep down they know they haven't earned any, and so they retreat into a moral framework that excuses their cowardice. But the world doesn't care about your excuses. It respects those who can act decisively, confidently, and, if necessary, dangerously. You were not born to be passive. You were not designed to be irrelevant. There is something in you, something deep and primal, that knows this, that hunger to grow stronger, to become capable, to be someone who cannot be ignored. It's there for a reason. It's not evil. It's not toxic. It's human, and when you develop it, refine it, and bring it under the discipline of ethics and purpose, you become not just strong, you become just, because only the dangerous man who chooses peace is capable of true virtue. Danger alone is chaos, raw, untamed strength, whether physical, intellectual, or emotional, can destroy more than it protects if it isn't mastered. That's why discipline is not just important, it's non-negotiable. Discipline is the crucible through which potential becomes power. Without it, your abilities will remain scattered, your impact diminished, and your character unstable. The dangerous man without discipline is a loose cannon. He may appear strong, but he's a threat to himself and everyone around him. True strength, true danger, is measured not by how much force you can unleash, but by how precisely and purposefully you can wield it. Discipline is structure, it's repetition, it's doing what you said you'd do, even after the feeling that made you say it is long gone. It means you don't wait to feel motivated. You act because you've decided who you're going to be. People look for secrets to success, but most aren't willing to wake up early, train when no one's watching, read when others are scrolling, and sacrifice what feels good now for what builds something real later. Discipline is unglamorous, it's quiet, it doesn't seek applause, but it builds something that nothing else can self-respect. And the key is this: discipline takes all that raw, dangerous energy in you and forges it into purpose. You may have rage, you may have ambition, you may have fear, aggression, drive, good, you're supposed to, but without discipline, they will control you. Discipline allows you to take your aggression and aim it at your goals, not at innocent people. It allows you to take your fear and convert it into preparation. It allows you to take your ambition and turn it into legacy, not just noise. When you train consistently, your body, your mind, your habits, you begin to carry yourself differently. Not arrogantly, but with quiet certainty, and people can sense it. There is a calmness to the disciplined individual, a steadiness, a trustworthiness. When things go wrong, Everyone looks to the one who has trained for chaos, not run from it. That's what discipline gives you, the ability to respond with clarity when others panic, to endure when others quit, and to lead when others follow. And that, ultimately, is the highest form of dangerous you can be, not loud, not reckless, but focused, prepared, and almost unstoppable. This world is not a playground, it's a battleground, it always has been. Beneath the surface of our polite conversations and social contracts, there's an unspoken truth. People are looking for strength. They're searching for someone who won't crumble under pressure, who won't lie when it's inconvenient, who won't run when things get hard. They're desperate for direction, for clarity, for something real. And that something is you, if you choose to rise to it. But you cannot lead anyone until you've confronted the chaos in yourself. You can't carry others until you've built the spine to carry your own burdens. People often wait for someone to come and fix things, for someone stronger, wiser, more capable to show up and take control. What they don't realize is that person is supposed to be them. You are not here to spectate. You're not here to blend in. You are here to bear responsibility, to look at the mess around you and say, I'll do something about this. But if you haven't faced your own shadow, if you haven't wrestled with your own bitterness, cowardice, envy, and laziness, then you'll only add to the disorder, not resolve it. To become someone the world needs, you must begin with radical honesty. You have to take stock of where you are weak, where you are blind, and where you are afraid, and then attack those places slowly, brutally, consistently, because when you fortify yourself, you don't just protect your own life, you become a source of strength for others. Your competence, your stability, your presence, it calms people. It gives them hope. And in a world addicted to comfort, distracted by nonsense, and crippled by anxiety, your presence becomes rare, valuable, even sacred. The truth is, people don't follow the loudest voice in the room. They follow the one who's grounded, the one who has suffered and grown stronger, the one who speaks from experience, not theory, the one who has done the work. So if you want to lead, at home, at work, in your community, then first become someone worth following. Don't aim to be liked, don't aim to be accepted, aim to be solid, unshakable. Someone who can walk into chaos and make order. Someone who can confront hell and walk out with purpose in their eyes and discipline in their hands. That's who the world is starving for. Be that. So now you understand what's at stake. This isn't just about self-improvement for the sake of feeling better about yourself. This is a call to transformation, because the alternative is clear: stagnation, irrelevance, weakness. If you don't become competent, you will be at the mercy of those who are. If you don't become dangerous, you will be subject to those who are willing to dominate you. The world is not a neutral place. It rewards those who prepare and punishes those who drift. And if you refuse to accept this, you are not noble, you are naive. You must decide to walk the hard path, because the easy one leads nowhere worth going. Your goal is not to become safe. Your goal is to become capable of incredible force, and then discipline that force with wisdom, restraint, and purpose. There's something noble in a person who could be a monster but chooses not to be. That person has confronted their darkness, integrated it, and emerged whole. That's what separates the strong from the merely loud. The world doesn't need more people who have never been tested. It needs those who have passed through fire, those who have confronted fear, failure, and futility, and refuse to break. This journey is not linear. You will fall, you will doubt yourself, you will face resistance from others and from within, but every time you choose to keep moving, to keep learning, to keep sharpening the sword, you become more dangerous. And with that danger comes responsibility, because once you possess real power, you cannot pretend to be helpless. You become someone who must act, must protect, and must lead. And that's what real adulthood is: stepping into the storm instead of hiding from it, and becoming the kind of person others can depend on when everything is falling apart. So ask yourself now, what would your life look like if you stopped hiding from your potential? What would your world become if you brought the full force of your trained mind, your steady heart, and your relentless will into it? You were not born to be soft and forgettable. You were born to be formidable, to master your gifts, to confront suffering with strength, and to lead others toward the light. Become competent, become dangerous, and above all, be ready when the world needs you, because that moment is coming. And you must not be unprepared. Thank you for taking the time to listen, reflect, and walk through these words with me. If this message stirred something in you, if it challenged, encouraged, or awakened a deeper part of who you know you could become, then let it not stop here. Let it mark the beginning of your decision to rise. Remember, the journey to competence and strength is not a one-time event. It's a daily commitment. So take what you've heard, turn it into action, and carry it with you into every challenge you face. The world needs more people who are not just awake, but prepared. If you found value in this message, feel free to share it with someone who needs it. And wherever life takes you, face it with discipline. Walk in strength and never settle for being anything less than what you're truly capable of becoming. Thank you again for your presence. Until next time, stay sharp, stay dangerous, and walk with purpose. Goodbye.